tonight on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Thanks everybody who's happened to be hanging around on a Tuesday night. Glad to see everybody. There's nobody here. Who am I talking to? I know some of you were waiting for this, expecting this to happen. So thank you very much. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Now I got a lot I wanted to talk about. Specifically, some items that arrived for me today. Some new music, and well, just so I can quote I can quote Matt's favorite Van Halen album. Fair warning, he loves that album so much. But like Dave said, now I'm ahead of the game. Okay, I won't sing anymore, I promise. Yeah, maybe I won't promise. But yeah, I ordered a couple of albums through Amazon that aren't supposed to be out until Friday, but I got them today, which is really weird. And again, like I said on an earlier episode, I pay for everything. I don't. Nothing gets sent to me, so there's no advanced copies going on here. It's just I don't understand how this is happening or how this happened. But am I complaining? Of course not. One of these I've been waiting on for quite a long time, like quite a few months. Well, technically 15 years, but knowing that it's something that exists, a few months, and it's here. So talk about that. Extreme. Extreme 6. Brand new album. Not supposed to be out until Friday, the 9th. And here it is. This is so strange. The hype stick around. This is actually, what's the word? It's raised. Like it's bumpy. It's really, really cool. I haven't even listened to this yet, but I checked the mail. And by the way, I'm all about supporting local record stores. I don't have one, so I order Amazon. Okay, just want to make that clear. So I got it on CD, of course, and also got it on vinyl. And no way. Such a tease. So, yeah, here it is. Now that's not, yeah, it is. That's bumpy too. So, yeah, the new Extreme album. I can't believe I've actually got it here to talk to. It's like I wasn't prepared for this, but yeah, it came. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why this came early, but I'm not going to talk about it much more because it is going to be a review episode and it won't be just me doing it. There's a bunch of us that are waiting on this and are going to give it its due. But man, how cool is that? So a few weeks ago, and one that we have talked about is I keep listening to this. I cannot stop listening to Winger 7. I got this a day early. I get this a day before it was supposed to come out. Not 3 days. That's crazy to me, and I hope it continues because I've always said this. If you pre-order an album, I think you should get it. If you pre-order an album in months ahead of it being released, I think you should get it soon. I really do. Of course, it never happened. Now it's starting to happen. I like that. I'm not going to complain about that. The other thing that I ordered that's due to be released Friday that I got today, something I already own, but it's a reissue. Y&T Yesterday and Today Live, the album they recorded on what at the time was their couple of farewell shows at the end of 1990. Sky blue marble vinyl. You know I'm not going to open this, so why would I bother? But this is a reissue on vinyl from Metal Blade, the Metal Blade logo there. And when I first heard about this, I wasn't going to order it because it's like, oh, well, I have that on vinyl. That's very cool. They're making it available again. This is what it looks like. So it's on 2 CDs now. It was on 1 CD. And the main reason I bought it is because it's got 2 bonus tracks on it. Mike Ladano, it's got 2 bonus tracks on it that weren't on the original album. It's got Earthshaker and Rescue Me. So it's got that lineup running through those songs, which, kind of have to have that. Oh, Matt, you're so funny. my friend Matt, his career in comedy never quite took off, but he keeps trying. So we'll give him credit for that. Yeah, I don't know why I got those two things so early. But I hope it continues. It's a trend I hope to see continue. So another CD that I've got that I'm going to be doing a review episode on with Deke coming up is the new Rival Sons Dark Fighter. Now this came out last Friday, June the 2nd, and I actually got it on the 2nd. So, and I've listened to this a couple times. It's great. It's another good addition to the Rival Sons collection. They're one of very few new bands that I like. And yeah, some great new music coming out. But Winger and Extreme are two bands that it's definitely quality over quantity, although it would have been nice to see a little bit more quantity, more music to talk about. But man, the Winger album is so good. If the Extreme album's anywhere close, it's going to be a year where I actually have albums that I can debate for being the top albums of 2023. Speaking of albums that came out this year or releases that came out this year, I mentioned this before, but I'm really glad that we've had really, really good discourse with the episode that Mike and I did talking about Def Leppard's Drastic Symphonies, which neither of us particularly cared for, but the chat has been respectful, and it's obvious that he and I are fans, and we just don't happen to care for this particular release, but we love the band. So that's how we worked that out. But yeah, people have been really cool about it and understanding that everybody hears something different. Speaking of Def Leppard, so as I sit and do this Tuesday, 1 week from tomorrow, I'm going to be at Dolan's Pub in Fredericton. Hope to see some of the TVC folks down there in the area to see Hysteria Montreal, Def Leppard tribute band that I did an interview with a couple of guys from the band a few weeks ago. If you want to check that out on this channel, they if you go to their website, which is hysteriamtl.com, there's a promo video, shows you what they sound like and how closely they work at getting that Def Leppard sound. Best of all in the orchestra. But yeah, great guys, and looking forward to seeing the show and looking forward to seeing what they do for songs, because I've seen some of their set lists and they mix it up a lot. They are always working on adding new songs to the set list, which I think is just fantastic for a cover band to do. Speaking of tribute bands, the week after that, Sarah and I are going to be in Fredericton once again, this time around at the Playhouse, to see for the second time Rumors, Fleetwood Mac tribute act that we saw before. And too late, Matt. I screenshotted all of those, buddy. Anyway, so we're going to be seeing that too, and there'll be episodes on both of those shows to give you my 2 cents of what I thought of them. And those kind of shows are kind of low impact. You don't have to knock yourself out trying to get tickets for them. Speaking of getting tickets for a show, as I'm on here tonight, it's actually Steve Vai's birthday, and Steve Vai is on tour, still supporting his album in Violet, and all of the tour dates on this current leg have been announced except for just a handful. One in Finland, and the 2 maritime dates, Halifax and St. John. St. John's the one I really am interested in because that's not too far from here. And I've never seen Steve Vai in concert in any way, shape, or form. I never thought he'd ever come to the Maritimes, and I could be right about that still, but no, we're waiting to see if tickets actually go on sale, because that would be an awful lot of fun, and would definitely be covering that for an upcoming episode to see a true guitar hero in concert. So fingers crossed that those dates don't just get canceled and they get a venue for them, and then the next step is to get tickets. So there you go. Yeah, mainly I Matt actually suggested that I come on and talk about these new albums that I got ahead of time, which is just bizarre. And again, guys, I don't get sent things. I pay for these things. There's no promo copies. There's no advance copies. There's none of that stuff. This is just a regular guy ordering from Amazon, and I just happened to get the mail today. Great big Amazon box, and it had my name on it. It wasn't for Sarah, so it's like, well, what could this mean? I started to open it up, and wow. So yeah, listen to listen to that Extreme album for sure. And that will be an upcoming episode probably by the end of this month. Not 100% sure. We all got to make sure we drill it in, listen to it quite a few times. Man, I hang out with a bunch of cards, guys. Like, so funny. Is anybody else watching this tonight, or like, feel free to join into the chat. Matt, don't let Matt scare anybody away. No, best buds. So anyway, just because you retract the message doesn't mean I haven't already seen them. Stream it or stream it. All right, enough of that. Also, I want to talk to you about our TVC merch, and I've got some new merch to talk about that I think some of you haven't seen before. So, TeePublic has done a great job, not just with me, obviously, but with the Contrarians. Grab a Stack of Rock, Too Loud, Too Old, all, check out their merch on teepublic.com. But as far as Tim's Final Confessions goes, I dug out a few things here. This is Sarah's shirt that she likes quite a bit. It's just got the logo on it. Very comfy shirt. Some other things here that I don't think have been seen before. These ones have. These next two I'm going to show you are actually mine. This is one of my favorites, the unspooled cover. Now, it's available with and without the unspooled text on it, the book title, but I do like this plain one here. There are variants of this as well. And of course, the, sort of the, I guess you could call it the flagship merch. Just my classic logo on it, which can also be witnessed here on this sweatshirt. Just the logo there in the corner. I guess this is pretty much the same. No, Jacob, we're just getting started. You've missed a lot of quips here. Talking about, I'll review here for a bit. And then we got another sweater here with unspooled cover on it. Matt, cut it out, man. Seriously. You're going to scare people away. There's another piece of merchandise I got. It's just, I like jotting things down, so it's just a spiral notebook. Hi, Dan. With that particular logo on it. Of course, we got the coffee mug here. And you can get any of the designs on this. You can, get the unspooled logo on it, or, variants of things on here. Same thing with the pins. And I should show it off again now that more people are here. Show what off? Let's see. Bear with me here, guys. I didn't really have a master plan past the beginning of it. People are curious about the TeePublic. I'm going to share the link to the live chat. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So Jacob, Dan, what this started off with was I'd ordered a couple of things from Amazon that weren't supposed to be out until this coming Friday. But I got them today, and I wasn't expecting them. So one is the reissue of YNT Yesterday and Today Live with a couple of bonus tracks. But the big one is the new Extreme album, and I got it on vinyl. So both of these I got on vinyl, too. I don't know how I ended up with them early, but I got them early. Greta Van Fleet is another one on my pre-order list. Of all of us that do Tim's Final Confessions, Will's the most excited about it. I do like Greta Van Fleet, and I've got all their other albums, so this is no exception here. So, yeah. It's a yes, it is. It is embossed. It's very cool. I don't know if you can see the shine. See that? It's very, very cool. And the vinyl's like this too. Why don't I just get the vinyl again? How about that? So the one Matt's really excited about is the Y&T. He's a huge fan. He acts like he's not, but we all know. Anyway, yeah, here's the Extreme vinyl. And yeah, here's the beautiful thing. When Matt gets his vinyl, he can open it if he wants. I don't open my vinyl. I don't open my vinyl. This is not new information. Yeah, Dan, the main reason I already had the Y&T, obviously, and I even had a UK version of it on vinyl, but it's got two bonus tracks on it from the same concert. It's got them doing the song Earthshaker from the first album, not the Earthshaker album, and Rescue Me. So I kind of had to have it, right? I'm not going to talk much about either of those because there'll be episodes dedicated to each in the next little while. As well as the new Rival Sons, Dark Fighter, I'll show that off too. And the new Greta Van Fleet when it comes out. Another album that I have pre-ordered that's supposed to be out on 16th is a new album from Steve Lukather called Windows, which I don't normally order the... I don't do side projects and solo projects as a rule, and that's a running gag with me and all my friends, but the reason I was intrigued about the Steve Lukather albums because apparently there will be no more Toto albums, so this is going to be the next best thing. Kind of like when I ordered the Tom Kiefer albums, they're pretty much Cinderella albums. So, yeah, Dark Fighter is good. I've listened to it a couple times. There will be a review episode on that. Episode of The Contrarians that just went up is Martin Popoff and Martin designed a Led Zeppelin concept album, which came out really, really, really cool. Like one I did on Sammy Hagar. We were creating concept albums from people that have never had concept albums before. Got an AC/DC one coming up as well. Yeah, Matt is crazy about this band Duraps, which is it's a family name, and they are really good. Very, very Van Halen-ish, Canadian, quite young, and I am going to get that album. I swear, I am going to get that album. But it is good stuff. It's just fantastic guitar playing. What else? What else is happening in... seems to me there were a couple other things. I don't write this stuff down. What is coming up? So, yeah, thanks for the input yesterday on my Bon Jovi Keep the Faith tour book episodes. Yeah, there will definitely be more by the year episodes. Absolutely. We've been talking about a 1983 episode ever since we finished the 1982 one. We love doing those, and there will be one. I like saving them to the end of the year because they're kind of a special wrap-up thing. But yeah, there definitely will be a best of, definitely a best of 83. As far as 78 and 88, I'm kind of waiting until the even cycle comes along, because if I did those now, by the time that 2028 rolled around, what am I going to do an episode on? So kind of got those coming up. I've got next episode on Saturday. Jacob, hold that thought. Jacob, honest man, honestly, there are 5 albums from 1983 that are battling it out for top spot. It was such a great year for me, for music. All worthy of being number 1. It may just come down to a random pick. I don't know. Mean Streak is definitely in there. The episode coming up on Saturday is going to be my review of the new Yes album, Mirror to the Sky. And I'm also still waiting. Actually, what I thought was in the mail today, the size of the box, before I realized it was from Amazon, I thought it was my copy of the Tormato book that Kevin Mulverne wrote. And I interviewed Kevin a few episodes ago about that. And it's really, really cool because Tormato is, for those of you that aren't familiar with Yes, it's not a popular album. Maybe it was a platinum album, but it's not well regarded. It's kind of like if somebody did an episode on... or did a book about Asylum or something, if you're a Kiss fan. It's a weird uh, album to dedicate a book to, but that's why I like it all the more. So it's a great book. So I'm waiting on that, and it hasn't come yet. 83 was an amazing year for music, for sure. Yeah. Um, so that's coming up. I've got an 8-track episode coming up. I always like doing those. Always fun. Let me see. I don't want to give too many things away, but yeah. So I got those 2 tribute shows coming up. Telling you about trying to get tickets to Steve Vai. Uh, Dan, you're in the Fredericton area. Are you going to the Def Leppard tribute next Wednesday? Uh, Blink. No, no. I'd just like to see. It'd be good to see a good turnout because the better the turnout, the more of these types of shows that we get. So hopefully, hopefully, just bear with me here, guys. Um, let's see what else. You are there, cool. Well, I'll have a shirt on. I'll be easily identifiable. It's neat to. Yes, that's another thing. Matt says new merch. Yes, I do have some new merch ordered, some stickers. And we do have, if you're a Def Leppard fan and you like watching this show, we do have some Def Leppard inspired merchandise available with that looks like the Def Leppard logo. Hopefully it doesn't get taken down. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason for how things stay up and how things get taken down, because I've seen a lot more blatant use of copyrighted images and faces and things that don't seem to get affected. But we had a design that looked somewhat like the old Atari logo, and it didn't even make it to be, we couldn't even order one for ourselves before it got yanked down. So you just never know. It's but hey, what are you gonna do? Another tribute that's happening is in November. I believe Jex said that there was a Kiss cover band, the Love Guns, in Moncton in November. I've seen a couple of Kiss cover bands, Black Diamond and what was the other one called? Destroyer. So, but that's been a long time. So, yeah, probably go to that. Probably go to that. Other than that, it's turning out to be a great year for classic bands putting out new music, or good new bands putting out new music. And I haven't thought that for a while. I didn't think there were that many last year. There were a few, but actually Steve Vai's and Violet was one of the best albums to come out last year, I think. So yeah, like I said, got the merch for sale. Thanks to everybody who's already purchased it. There is no time limit on it, so best thing with TeePublic is to wait until the stuff goes on sale, which happens fairly frequently. They'll have sales on the merch, so keep an eye out for that. And like I said, I already posted the link back in the chat if you're interested, if you want to check out what we've got. There's a variety of different shirts. Ace and Alice, yeah. Is Aces going to be another covers album, or is it going to be originals? And Alice has just been really, really consistent. I got to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of Detroit Stories. I liked it, thought it had a lot of good songs on it, but I never go back and listen to it. Actually, speaking of Alice, one of the most popular episodes I've had this year is my interview with the Alice Cooper Collector, which was a really, really fun episode. All new original material. Please tell me he's got somebody co-singing all of it. 12, 13 songs of Ace's lead vocals. A little goes a long way. Anyway. But I will buy it. Because, that's how it goes. Speaking of Kiss, I'm not going to give away too much at all, but I have been asked to take part in a kind of a fun episode, which we'll be filming this weekend. I'm not sure when it's going to air, and I won't say what channel it's on, but it's Kiss oriented. Also filming an episode for my own channel this weekend. It's going to be a follow-up episode. I'll leave it at that. Looking forward to just more trying to put up more great content for everybody out there, and I appreciate the feedback. The fact that of all the different things that you can watch on YouTube, that people take time to watch me, I really appreciate it. And of course, a lot of it is I have great co-hosts, I have great guests, so I appreciate everybody there too. People seem to like the music room tours. And so I'll be continuing with those. I don't want to do them all at once because I don't want to run out. But so far I've done my vinyl and my CDs. So there'll definitely be more of those coming. Yeah, I mean, the announcement there'll be a new Alice Cooper album, it'll be good. And I'm really glad that some of these classic artists are speeding up a little bit with their new material. I mean, the fact that Yes put an album out this year, I was surprised because it's only been 2 years since their last one. But I don't want less new music. I want more, especially if it's good. More new music to talk about because, these guys are just old, right? I mean, we all are. But Origins Volume 3, yeah, I really liked Origins Volume 1. I really thought that for the most part the song choices were excellent. Origins Volume 2, not quite so much. Nudie Purple, yeah, that is crazy. I'm assuming with Simon McBride on lead guitar. Their last few albums have been really good. All of the albums since they started working with Bob Ezrin, I've liked them all. I actually don't have all of the. I don't have like Bananas or Rapture the Deep. I'm really. I got to catch up on. I got to catch up on my Deep Purple. Guys, I don't really know if I've got much else going on. What about you all out there? Everybody that's watching that has channels. What have you got coming up? It's I love supporting the other channels. The Another show that I'm doing next week. I'm actually double booked next Thursday night. Going to be a continuing over on Grant's Rock Warehouse talking about April Wine. Just about the end of that series, and I'm going to miss it because I've had really had fun digging into that band's catalog, rating the albums, talking about the live albums. Psychos Platters, how are you doing? More people keep jumping on. I'll stick around. But I don't want to start do like that. But who have all we got on here that's in the general Fredericton area? I'm curious because some of these are just usernames to me and could be halfway across the world for all I know. I know some, like I know Dan's in the Fredericton area, but it's just interesting to find out where we are geographically. I was chatting with someone on Instagram. I didn't even realize they lived in Maine, which is not too far away from here. So, yeah, it's great. We have our little music community here. Really cool episode that I might borrow the concept. Arkansas. Okay, that's not close at all. Cool though. The last time that Martin Popoff was on Sea of Tranquility last Friday, they talked about like music memorabilia, not necessarily not albums per se. And I'm just looking here, as I've got my phone set up. I've got a few of these things. Like I've got some of these Y&T picks that I got when I bought their documentary. They just come in this little case, which I can't open. Just got a bunch of guitar picks in there, and got these Kiss ones. There's a Ace Frehley, St. John, August 3rd, Dan, a Thursday, but the date still hasn't. It hasn't been confirmed. The venue hasn't been confirmed on the website, nor has the Halifax gig. I was talking about that earlier. That's what Matt and I are waiting on because I'll definitely want to go to that. Go see Steve Vai. He's never been in the Maritimes, I don't think, in any configuration. I don't think David Lee Roth ever toured through here back in the day. Never came through here with Whitesnake. The Maritimes tend to get overlooked. That's why I was so shocked when I saw the tour dates listed, and then all of them went on sale on Friday, except for one date in Finland, and then the St. John and the Halifax dates. They're still to be announced or to be determined. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. It's just vi.com, and then you look for the tour dates. But yeah, Steve Vai live in concert. That'd be amazing. Hopefully, hopefully. So I don't know. I don't know what David Lee Roth is going to do. I'm pretty sure Dave doesn't know what he's going to do. Don't know. I know that I hope that one of these days that wake up in the morning and I find out that there is actually going to be some unreleased Van Halen stuff come out. I don't care which lineup. I just like to hear it. Uh, you know, we know it's there. We know it exists. We know there's probably a lot of it. So that would be really cool to get some Van Halen stuff I've never heard before. Uh, but as far as Dave goes, I don't know. He hasn't put out you know, it's been a long time since he's put anything out. Anyone out there like the 1998 album he did that's just called DLR Band? I thought that was a great album. It never gets talked about. It was on an independent label. That had some really, really good stuff on it. As far as albums released in 98 related to Van Halen, I thought it was a lot better um, than Van Halen 3. Although I did like some of Van Halen 3, and that's certainly nothing against Gary Sharon because talking about how good this is. So, yeah, I do think it was an odd fit. But, yeah, as I look around, I can't really think of anything else that I've got going on. Yeah, DLR Band, great. It had John Five on it. It had, who was the other guitar player on it? I think his name was Hartman, not Dan Hartman, not Phil Hartman. Can't think of what they're looking at, but Slam Dunk, Counterblast. It just sounded like classic Van Halen to me. It was really good. That was a nice surprise. Well, listen, I'm a Sammy fan too, but I was really surprised with how I enjoyed that David Lee Roth Band album. Um, Ray Luzier on drums. Um, good band he had on that. Um, and I bought that one that he put out in 2003 that's all covers. That's just called Diamond Dave. I don't know that I listened to it all the way through. I think it's all covers. And I loved A Different Kind of Truth. I was so ready to hate that album and think it was terrible, but the album proved me wrong, and I liked that. I thought it was great. So, guys, I think that's about it. Unless there's something else. If anybody's got any questions or anything like that, questions about future episodes. This has been fun. I've enjoyed doing this. I mean, I'll do this more often. Certainly, I'll do this more often live. But the idea of getting those two albums 3 days early, I thought was strange enough to maybe not warrant a full episode, but definitely enough to talk about. And I will be talking about that when I do the episodes on the individual releases. And that's the other strange thing, because Matt ordered the Extreme same time I did, and Jex is waiting on the new Extreme. And I got mine and they didn't get theirs, which is really weird because they live in cities and I most certainly do not. Well, it's next to a forest. Something else I want to talk about that I haven't had too long, but I did do an episode on. If anybody's a Journey fan, I cannot recommend the Neil Schon Journey Through Time enough. It is amazing. It is a feast for if you're into the classic Journey. And when I mean classic, I mean from the first album in 75 through Departure in 1980, for the most part, strictly that stuff. Now that Matt's gone, let's talk about him. He's so funny. But it's really, really good. I watched the DVD again for the second time. Anyway, I think that's actually about it. Yeah, Journey Through Time. Here's the thing. If you're a fan of that old stuff, you want this. It's as simple as that. If you're a casual fan that's got the greatest hits and isn't like Matt and trying to get rid of it, you don't want this. This is for the diehards. This is deep album cuts. I think that I counted. It's 30 songs altogether. It's on 3 CDs and 1 DVD. 30 songs altogether, and I think only 4 of those were hits. So it's deep cuts. No, but Eric Gronwall can sing the phone book and would sound good. That's another album I'm listening. I mean, I've been talking about how much I've been listening to Winger 7. I'm still listening to Skid Row, The Gang's All Here a ton. What a great album. What a great album. Queensryche Digital Noise Alliance is good. There's another, okay, Scott Rockenfield, that nonsense there with the lawsuit with Queensryche. That is a strange thing that I would like to see. Just as a fan that doesn't like reading the dirty laundry, I'd like to see that resolved, because that's just the whole situation has been very strange. And yeah, the guy that's been quiet through all of this is Chris DeGarmo, and I can't help but wonder what he thinks about what happened to the band that he kind of built and then left. But I'm a fan of all of the Todd La Torre Queensryche albums. I think they're all fantastic, but Digital Noise Alliance is excellent. But I like the Skid Row album better. It gets better every time I listen to it. Skid Row albums one of my favorite. 12 Years Lost, more hers than Jeff. Yeah. Again, I'd like to see these bands put up albums more frequently. You know, Skid Row were another one until they put an album out. It just not enough music to listen to. With Extreme, 15 years since Sauvage de Rock, which was an amazing album, but it was 15 years ago. And now, unfortunately, that's an album that I'd like to see get reissued, because I know that for people that didn't get it when it came out, the late tax. It's all about the late tax, because, weren't too many pressings of it, and to get a used copy is not cheap. Then you're getting a used copy of a CD, and sometimes that doesn't work out. Yeah. This lawsuit might hurt worse than Jeff. You know, I'm no legal expert, but from what I've read, it doesn't sound like Scott Rockenfield has much of a leg to stand on. I mean, it sounds like the guys have kept him in the loop the whole time, and he's just declined to participate in being a member of the band. So it's just weird. And it's a shame, because he's a one-of-a-kind drummer, and even though I've liked the last 2 albums in particular that Scott wasn't on, he's such a unique sounding drummer, you notice it not there. So, hopefully they can work that out. But yeah, that's a band that's been through it and back again. I mean, 2 different versions and stuff like that. So I think I've been going on for almost 40 minutes now. Somehow I had no plans, but here we are. Thanks to everybody that has taken part in the chat. And glad to have you tuning in. And like I said, brand new episode on Monday. My episodes play Monday and Tuesday now. I play my short episodes on, Saturday and Monday. And I play my short videos on Tuesday. This morning it's actually talking about Steve Vai. Yeah, Dan, we will definitely see you there. That's gonna be a fun night. So listen, guys, take it easy out there. Stay safe. And I'm going to do this again. People like to come on and have their say, and we'll talk to you all later. Thanks for watching this live edition Tuesday night, Tim's Vinyl Confessions. See you all later.